to introduce myself and let you know a little bit of who I am. As Jamie says, my name's Alanjohn R Jones. I come from an architecture and an urban design background. I've actually worked in the industry for 20 years as an urban designer. I have followed Burning Man for 20 years, most of my adult life. I was also part of the effigy crew that created the effigy in 2011 and 2012. The room man that you saw over there, Rusty. I also was the coordinator of the event in 2012. And as Jamie's just said, I have also been involved with the core crew with the Temple of Surrender, which some of you may have heard. It's our fetish theme camp. I'm proud to say it's the only fetish theme camp in Australia. But that's a little bit of that ego that Bonner was talking about before. And I've also created the Oz Cinema this year, which some of you may have partaken of. The interesting thing I'd like to finish with in introducing myself is that I've never been to Burning Man. And this is part of the talk I wanted to talk about today. This lovely lady over here spoke to us before about the 10 principles. I'd just like to read them out again. So the first one is radical inclusion. The second is gifting. The third is decommodification. I'll touch on that again.
Pissed anyone off.
The fourth is radical self-reliance. The fifth is radical self-expression. The sixth is communal effort. The seventh is civil responsibility. The eighth is leave no trace. The ninth is participate. And the 10th is immediacy. Now, the 10 principles are an interesting thing because there is an 11th principle, and it's a bit of a joke that gets thrown around through burner circles. One of them that I really like is the 11th principle is radical self-entitlement. Don't you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal around here. You know, I need that generator because I've got a big fucking theme camp. And you know, I'm providing all this great stuff for you guys. The other one I really love, which is a little badge I saw a couple of years ago, is if you don't fuck it up, we won't tell you what to do. Yeah. That's Cayman Spanky Ham, Padre. That's his little badge. Now the interesting thing is that, can anyone tell me when was the first Burning Man? Anyone?
27 years ago.
How many?
27.
27 years ago. But interestingly enough, the 10 principles were never written down until 2004. It says it on the website, you can check it out for yourself. So what was happening before that? There was no 10 principles. There was just Burning Man. And it just happened. Yes, but why did they start writing down the 10 principles? The interesting thing is they wrote them down so that then they had to explain to the regional networks how Burning Man worked. It says it on the website, you can read it for yourself. The thing I find interesting about this is when you have a subculture that starts creating itself. You have your first generation of people, they come in, they create this situation, they create the environment. Then you have your second and your third generation coming in. You need to explain yourself. You need to start explaining, what is this thing? How do you explain Burning Man? Everyone asked that question. So then you get to 2004 and they wrote down 10 principles and they created the 10 principles. I think the danger that we have within Burning Man culture is that it's getting to an evolutionary state where we lose the point and we start focusing on the understandings that we explain people how Burning Man works, rather than focusing on the essence of what Burning Man is about. This is very important for what I see as the regional networks, because within the regional networks we are drifting in some stages into a danger of commodifying Burning Man. So then we come to a regional event like this, and you know, I was helping run the event last year with a great crew, but all of us are just guys like you, just doing our thing and trying to make it happen, but we don't know what we're doing. So we're trying to make it up as we go along, but we set boxes, like what Honor was saying. You can't do this, you can't do that, it should be like this, it should be like that, because that's how they do it in Nevada. Interesting. The point I'd like to make with this, from a design point of view, is the room end last year. I was the chief designer on a small team with Rusty and Pat and Paul Jorgensen. It was a team effort. Now this is an interesting thing because, I'll put this down for a moment. So from my design point of view, when I first started getting involved with the FG in 2011, I had a very long conversation with Paul, and I said to him, let's do something really simple in 2011. Let's create a man. Because none of us have worked together. Let's create a project. We will go through the process, learn the methods, and then in 2012 we can really crack this open for the local cultural significance of what Burning Seed is for us. And so that's where we created Brewmen in 2012. The interesting thing that happened was that we got a lot of interesting conversations with people about wanting not to do a man within Burning Seed. So I would ask the question, what are we creating here? What is Burning Seed about? Are we creating another environment like what is in Nevada, or are we recreating the idea that is Burning Man for ourselves, for a local cultural significance? I really love examples, so I've got a couple of examples up here for you today. Just got to get my chair off. So this is my camp chair, right? And I sat in this camp chair all last year when I was helping run the event. The captain over there's got his toilet patch marks here, and then Heap's got his here. They had a bet to see who could use all the toilets before the festival ended, each one. I love this chair. I've had this chair for years. I got it from some bloke in Queensland years ago. I get to hang stuff off it. I've got my camelback on it. This chair is culturally significant to me as an individual. I like rustic. This chair here is my campmate AJ's. He's our quartermaster. He's a great guy. Runs all the generators for DPI and all that kind of stuff. He's an electrician. He's a bit of a tech head. We actually have a hot water system in our camp. He loves something that's got a bit of style to it, and it's a bit flash, and you know, it looks fantastic. That's a great chair, but that chair is not culturally significant to me, is it? Like, you know, because I like this kind of thing. Then this is Honor's chair. If you just saw Honor, spoken word thing. He's a bit of a minimalist, you know, a bit rough around the edges. He likes something that's just a little bit simple, and that's culturally significant to him. Now, over here, I've got 3 chairs. They're pretty good camp chairs. Like, a lot of people have these. These are fantastic. I can sit in this chair all night, do whatever I want to do, and have a great time. But the problem is that this chair is not necessarily culturally significant to me as a person where I'm at. Now, I can use all 3 of these chairs, and all 3 of these chairs are totally fine, aren't they? But they look identical. There's nothing different between each of these chairs. Just check my notes again. And so this is what I want to leave with you today. To me, this is the danger that I see that can happen with the Burning Man Regional Network. Is that we have all these amazing events happening across the world. And I'm not standing up here today and saying to you that they look exactly like this. I'm saying this is a danger zone that can happen with this evolving, great, recreating concept subculture. What I want to see this. I want to see Burning Seed look like this for whoever needs to be here at Burning Seed. I want Africa Burn, if it needs to look like that for cultural significance to what they're about, I want it to look like that. If Burning Man wants to look like that, or a Blazing Swan, or whatever wants to look different, I want to see that happen. My concern is that... I've lost my point now, sorry.
We all blame you.
What I will close with, Jamin started with a quote from TEDx at Nevada, where the saying was, if this is just a party in the desert, I don't want to go anymore. I'm going to stand here and say to you guys today, if this is just another Nevada, I don't want to come anymore. Thank you very much.